Court, the movie podcast where Sean
and Michael
watch shit and talk shit and eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
What did we see?
Oppenheimer. Barbie Part 2, Oppenheimer. Yeah, imagining the title come up on the screen. Oppenheimer!
It's like a fucking Marx Brothers bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's like a Jerry Lewis bit.
Ooh.
Oppenheimer. Excuse me, Mr. Oppenheimer. We've got to build the bomb.
Did I do that? That'd be horrible.
Why would they do the Urkel?
I don't know, just the thought.
I mean, it would be cool if...
Hey.
Wait, who played Urkel?
That dude.
At some point in my life, I knew the name of the person who played Urkel.
I saw him
strange.
recently on an interview on Eric Andre, but I don't know his name.
Oh.
Couldn't tell you.
Was his name actually Stefan Urkel?
No, I don't think so. I want
Okay.
to say it's like Jamil Malik. Something like that.
If
I
you're
don't
listening
know.
on the podcast, that's the black guy saying
Yeah.
that, not me. I wouldn't just make up two different black-sounding names.
Hey, I don't know. It just sounds right to me.
It was a Blackula.
Blackula. Blackula?
It was Blackula.
Yeah.
I think it was...
Yo, motherfucker, I want to suck your blood. That was my favorite line from that movie.
It's a good movie.
The only problem with that movie is the audio is horrible. It's like, what the fuck?
You know, I think sometimes movies just had some weird shit.
Yeah, it's
I was
like,
watching,
whoa.
there's this weird-ass movie called The Crush
Ooh,
with
sounds
Elisa
good.
Silverstone playing a young, hot babe who's trying
Whoa.
to have sex with her
Okay.
teacher? No, just some hot old guy played by
Okay.
Carrie Elwes. And for some reason, there's like phasing issues, so occasionally
Weird.
you hear just like... like whooshing
Really
noises.
weird.
And it's just on the whole DVD. But there's a thing before the movie and it says, "Hey, we apologize. There's phasing issues on the original."
They say it.
So, I mean, I don't know if they just lost
They're like, hey, we
the one that
tried.
sounds good or
Maybe.
That's
I
weird.
don't know. Maybe it never sounded good.
We watched Oppenheimer starring J.
Oppenheimer.
Robert Oppenheimer as Oppenheimer.
Starring, Cillian Murphy
As Oppenheimer.
as Oppenheimer.
Robert Downey
Jr.
as Louis Strauss.
Straws. Not
Um,
straws, but straws.
Kitty
Emily Blunt
as Kitty. Um,
what's his name?
Yes.
Kenneth Branagh
yes.
as a scientist guy.
Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr. Albert Einstein, which they just actually
he just
got
played
him.
himself,
Yeah.
Which it was
That
a
was
lot of
cool.
money.
Yeah, they brought him back.
Yeah.
This is the one time where I thought the CG looked really good. That they used to bring it back. That'd be crazy.
But you know what this movie's about?
Oh yeah, drop it on me.
Oh, okay, I
Let me
will.
know.
I will drop it on you. It is essentially the story of Robert Oppenheimer's life.
Mm-hmm.
He was best known, of course, for being the leader of the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos, New Mexico, which tested and then finally created the first atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb. Yeah.
And he was also a controversial figure in this time and after the time of the bomb because he had many friends who were communists.
Yep.
He had many lovers who were communists.
As do we all.
Yeah. I mean, if
Especially
we're
now.
lucky.
Yeah, if we're lucky.
And he had, and he also pissed off a very important man. And now I read the book upon which it is based, American Prometheus.
Oh wow.
And other than a few things, it's pretty true to the book, at
Really?
least.
Interesting.
Now,
That's awesome.
Maybe the book is bullshit. Hey, if you were the writer of American Prometheus, I challenge you to cite your sources. Prove that this happened.
Yeah, dude.
But what happens, essentially, is it's told through two different things.
Mm-hmm.
One, I think it was like maybe the mid to late 50s, Robert had to go before this hearing where they were deciding whether his security clearance should be renewed.
Yeah.
And in that hearing, he tells his whole life. In the other section, one is called Fission, which is Robert telling his story.
Yes.
And the other is called Fusion, which is Louis Strauss telling his story.
Yes, yeah.
And Strauss's story is all in black and white.
Pardon me?
Wow.
I got choked up.
Yeah.
This movie got me.
Did it get you?
It got me good.
It's intense.
I was like, ooh.
It's very sad.
Yeah. And I didn't have water for 3 hours, so I'm experiencing that, I think.
Yeah. I feel very good.
I had more water coming out of my eyes than to my throat.
It's an intense movie.
Yes.
And so basically it tells the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer. And it also tells the story of how his life was intertwined with the life of Louis Strauss, who grew to hate him more and more.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them were dickheads. They were both dickheads.
In different ways.
And because they were both powerful, they both decided to be dickheads to each other.
Classic dickhead move.
Which is what happens. If you're a dickhead and you meet another dickhead, you're not gonna... Sometimes you might get along and then you form like a dickhead society and you do bad things together. But sometimes you just get pissed at each other.
Oftentimes when two dicks they've done tests and studies on this many times. You put two dicks together.
Yeah.
It's gonna end up in some sort of fight. It just happens. They start swinging at each other. Literally.
Literally.
They have done studies.
Yes.
Controlled.
Cite your sources, Michael.
It was this guy.
The people versus
the people versus the other people who were doing it, and I remember hearing about it.
Starring. So that's what happens. Essentially, they tell you the whole story. They blew up the bomb. Robert quickly realized that it was the worst thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah, like the moment it happened.
Yeah, he was like, oops.
Oh, right.
Oh, whoops. And then for most of the rest of his life, he, a little more quietly than most people would have liked, lobbied against the bomb.
Yeah.
Which is probably, I'll be honest, probably the right thing to do.
And you'd think that if the person who was pretty key in it happening was like, yeah, this is just not a great thing and we should probably not do it.
Yeah.
Is saying that, you'd think people would listen, but no.
No.
Nope.
I'll be honest, watching this movie was nice because, like, lately I've mostly been scared by climate change.
Classic, yes.
I've been like, wow, it sure is hot every single day.
Every day. Something weird's happening. There's some weird storm that looks like the end of everything.
Some strange storm. But now I get to be worried about nuclear...
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah, I get to remember, I forgot there's hundreds and hundreds of thermonuclear weapons.
It's
ready to be launched at any moment.
We're living in a world where, like, so much money is going to defense rather than actually helping the planet. So it's like, what are you defending? It doesn't really make any sense.
It's pretty cool.
On the way to meet you...
Yeah?
After the movie, Sean went to get a drink, I went to get my water. We met in the middle.
I won't tell you the brand of the drink, but ooh, is it tropical?
On the way to see Sean, I saw in a license plate in the window of a car that said, out of time. I went, oh my God, that's
it's true.
Pretty intense.
So true.
So either we're going to kill ourselves, we'll kill ourselves, I guess, in one of two ways.
Well, we got a lot of options.
Yeah, I guess there are.
We could, what I think it will happen is, once it gets hot, we're not going to just slowly die of heat and weather. We're going to start fighting each other.
Probably,
and get pissed
because
off.
we'll be angry.
Yeah, we'll blow up fucking Alaska or something.
Yeah, there won't be any food.
Yeah. So that's what'll happen.
That'll be sad.
I do wonder, I would like, if there are any scientists listening or watching, should I be saving for retirement? I'm genuinely serious. Is it a waste of time, or should I go on vacation? I could go on vacation now, or I could save for retirement that may not exist.
Yeah.
So if you're a scientist or maybe a financial scientist, please let me know. Should I be saving this money?
Should we do?
Is this stupid?
What do we do?
What's the best use of my money? If it's the end of the world, like if it's for sure that in like 27 years the water wars have already begun, then let me know that, and I'll go fly to Germany.
Go see some water while you can, I say.
I did see like maybe it's 6 or 7 years ago. I saw Alaska, and I was like, oh, I got to see. I got to see like the glaciers and stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. Huh?
That was nice.
Last time any of you will see these, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I'll be able to. I won't have any kids, but I'll be able to tell somebody's kids about this when we're I don't know, hiding underground or something.
Okay, Grandpa. Boom.
Back in the old days, there used to be huge chunks of ice.
There used to be hope. We used to hope.
We didn't even know that it would be this bad.
Well, we kind of did, but we were told many times, but you know.
But the people with the real power didn't really care.
No, because they wanted to stay rich.
Also, the AI could kill us,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
We have to realize.
Well, because, I wonder if AI could get to a point where it could be like, oh, yeah, we could just launch all the things, kill all the people, and then regrow everything because there won't be as much. But I think killing us like that would actually not work because... and I've thought about this.
They don't want nuclear winter.
No, because they want a way to get us that will save the. Well, I don't know if they even care about saving the planet.
If they want to.
Yeah.
Hey, we watched J. Robert Oppenheimer. We watched Oppenheimer.
It makes you think about a lot of things.
It really is heavy shit.
Which is beautiful.
Speaking of which, what is the best part of this movie? What's the beef lamb gyro of Oppenheimer, directed and written by Christopher Nolan?
The beef lamb gyro for me, personally, throughout the entire movie, and they do this a lot in the trailer, there are these cuts to these beautiful, like, I don't even know how they did them, just like microscopic level, like, views of like things blowing up or like stuff spinning and it's like cut through and it just like waves and like sometimes they lay it over the footage itself and you're just really like this is wild, and I just love the mix of that. I thought it was so cool, and that to me was my favorite part. I was like, oh, this is so abstract and weird but like so emotional at the same time. Even I just loved it. I was like, oh,
it's
this
so beautiful.
Is really cool.
It's really cool also that like they describe it in the book as like he was like troubled by visions or something. He's like trying to think about the microscopic world. He's trying to think about the quantum realm.
That's a lot.
And he was just like he was like freaking out, and of course actually trying to poison his professor and being a true insane person.
That's wild.
And but like it is very helpful seeing it versus reading it to like, well, I'm too stupid to understand quantum theory. But when you show him like in pain in bed,
you're like,
and you see like things shaking and wobbling, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get it.
This makes sense.
There were horrible visions. He was troubled by horrible visions.
Overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, I'll extend it to like just all the fun visual stuff they did where like wasn't exactly what like how most movies would do it, which I really liked. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like he's in the interview. Or I don't know what you call that. It's not like a trial, but they're all...
Oh, sort of a hearing?
Kind of thing. And, like, he's, like, going back to when he, experienced the bomb and how he felt after it. And, like, the walls are shaking behind him. And, like, it's, like, getting bright and the things are smoking. Like, I love the play with that. Just, like, between those two worlds. Oh, it was so effective.
I think it... the way it is told... is really interesting. I talked to a friend at work and he was like, oh, everything seems so fast. It seemed like they should have like made it into a series, which of course is horrifying to me.
No.
But nothing should ever be made into a series.
Don't do it.
Also, I think he uses it to make it a thriller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, one, Robert is telling his own story, so of course, like, things are elided, things are passed over, things are like only the important things are told.
Sure.
But also, like, everything seems fast. Everything, like, the cutting is like fast, and you're just like the whole time, even though it's just like people like at lectures
Exactly.
and like a guy sitting in a bed throwing glasses at the wall.
Yeah.
It's all just like feels like a thriller. You're just like, oh God, what the fuck? This is, I'm freaked out.
At the beginning, first you're like, whoa, this is moving, like it's going. But it makes sense because it's just like, we got to get to the meat here, baby.
I'm recounting my entire life, so of course I'm going to only tell the important stuff.
Exactly.
But I think just the way that is put together is so beautiful. But you know what my favorite part is?
What is your favorite part?
I got a few. My main beef lamuro is the big speech in the little, I don't know, kind of basketball thing. He's like, it's right after they have dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
Oh my gosh,
and he's giving a big speech, and he is. I mean, it seems like he's having a psychotic break or something.
Yeah.
Like he's lost all sense of sight and sound.
Yeah.
He's seeing the people in the crowd out of focus, in and out of focus. All of like the way everything is put together is very insane. Like there's people who are really close to camera who are completely out of focus, just weird blobs of faces. And like people in the back who are also sort of like mildly out of focus. Just like everything is just not sharp and weird, and the sound is very like quiet, and then huge explosions of sound.
It's
just
crazy,
really terrifying shit. And he's giving this speech, and he's like, "Well, we won't know the repercussions of this day and for a long time, but I bet the Japs didn't like it." And they're like, "Ah!"
Yeah, it's like he was like, I gotta say something that's.
And you hear like a single scream.
That was so good. I was like, oh,
it's so fucked up.
It's so intense because all you can see, like, while you're being shown this image, is like what's the aftermath of the bomb, and you want to be there because you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And you know that he's just completely there mentally.
Yeah, it's like a girl's face begin to peel off like paper.
Oh, that was wild.
You see a woman who at first is like laughing and smiling. He like goes around a corner and she's weeping.
Yeah, that was wild.
He sees like a couple who's just weeping who were once making out.
Yeah,
all the focus is insane.
It's wild.
It's like super shallow focus where like sometimes even just like parts of his cheekbones are in focus, but the rest of his face is not.
Yeah, and it's so
and
big.
His eyeballs, his fucking like crazy blue eyes look insane.
It's wild. Like the scale of it really did like make it so.
We didn't mention
intense.
this.
Yeah,
we watched it in 70mm IMAX, 15 perforations on that
crazy.
Baby, and it is nuts.
It was wild.
Did I tell you yet that I saw it last week?
No,
I did, but I didn't see it in IMAX.
Oh,
because I couldn't get any tickets to see it in IMAX. But I was like, God damn it, I gotta see it.
I gotta go. Yeah, I don't blame you. But when the first image popped up, I was like, whoa,
this
is amazing.
We saw Dunkirk together for the very first time.
Yes,
and also in 15 perf.
Incredible.
70mm IMAX.
I remember that.
And when that first little shot pops up on the screen in Dunkirk, people gasped.
Yeah,
I remember people
massive.
just going,
yeah, it's wild.
It's very similar feeling with this, where it's just like,
whoa,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love that first bit with like the raindrops and him standing out there.
So good.
They did such a good job with like the ages, like him looking super young. Yes. And it was cool to see that done more with like, it seemed like just more with makeup.
Yeah.
And not like some weird.
Maybe they did some kind of de-aging with him. I don't know. But if they did, it looks
looks so seamless to me that,
seamless.
Because anytime I see that de-aging, it looks horrible. It's like,
it's usually rough. It also helps that he's not like 70.
True.
Like, as much as I love The Irishman, that stuff is rough.
I haven't seen that.
Because his body doesn't move like a young person. Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, Cillian Murphy still sort of looks like he moves around like a young person.
He's
or
in
he
good
can
health
move. Yes.
and able to. Yeah.
So he can pull it off being young and old. But man, so yes, that one scene where he's giving a speech right after the bomb is dropped on Hiroshima is intense.
Yeah, that was wild.
And also, I was talking to a friend of mine and remarking on how this is like a big year for puke in movies.
Yeah, there was a lot
This
of
is a big puke year. Evil Dead Rise had
Evil
some
Dead
great
Rise.
puke. Insidious had some great puke.
Insidious.
There's some dry heaving in Barbie. There's dry heaving in lots of different movies right now.
We can't fail to mention Joyride. Lots of vomit.
Lots of vomit and Joyride. There's puke in this.
Yeah, there's puke
and
in
also
snot.
Puke and snot at the same time.
I'm like,
pretty
was
cool.
that even? That actually wasn't on purpose. That guy was just sick, and they happened to catch him on camera, and he was like, "Oh, what are y'all shooting this?"
Please, I feel terrible. Christopher Nolan.
Use it.
We need this. We need this. Come over here. That's not what he has kind of a low voice. Yes, I'm a regular.
I'm Christopher Nolan.
yes. Me, yes, I love the IMAX
Nolan
camera.
never is late. He arrives precisely when he needs to.
yes, it is. But it's a really, and this is a stupid thing to say, but it's a very powerful movie.
Oh yeah, and it does so good. Like it hits you when you least. You're just like these waves where you're like kind of ingrained in the story, and you're like, okay, you're following everything. You're like, this is really intense, and then when it finally hits you, you're like, oh man, this is so much. It's so heavy, and that's why the length is actually used to its advantage. It's like, oh wow, this is heavy.
It felt for some reason shorter the second time I saw it.
I feel that. Yeah,
maybe it's just IMAX or something like that.
I
but
can see that.
It. For a long-ass movie, it really does move.
Yeah,
it's intense.
I appreciated
for almost all of it. Like, it just keeps up with the intensity. It's just like boom, boom, bam, boom, bam.
Yeah.
Here's this other thing. Here's this other thing. Here's some tits. Here's an explosion. Here's an explosion. Here's another tit. Here's an explosion.
My 2 Euros
Here's a woman
were
drowned
each of those.
Yeah? You already said your Euros. You can't.
But no, I mean, originally, and I went, I should probably not say that.
Yeah.
So.
That would be rude.
Yeah, that would be rude. I mean, I'm just saying, good job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
Good job for being hot.
Good job. You did it.
And a good actress.
And a great actress. Actor.
Actor. But there's a lot of other good stuff. I will say, another thing I love about this movie, and was probably my second Euro, is the ending.
Oh my gosh.
Which is manages to be like one of those like Christopher Nolan big twist ending things. But also is not really a twist at all.
Just like, oh wow.
And also I think is like one of the few things in the movie that probably didn't really happen, but still is awesome. But he's like he's talking to Einstein, and it's this meeting between Einstein and Oppenheimer that we've seen 3 or 4 times before in the movie.
Yeah.
And
always in black and white too.
Yeah. And Strauss thinks it's Oppenheimer saying, "Yeah, Strauss, what a fucking idiot, huh?"
Yeah.
And he thinks Einstein's like, "Yeah, I hate him too. I'm gonna frown at him." But what Oppenheimer really says is, "Hey, remember when we said that we would blow up everything? Well, I think we did."
Yeah, I think we actually
we
set off a chain reaction that's gonna destroy everything. Yeah.
And it's just so fucking intense.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so many things culminate, like. Way earlier, you see the water drops, and those come back a few times.
Yeah,
and like the fact that they echo not only in the water drops, but like in the circle around cities that shows like the devastation that the H bombs would create.
Jeez.
But also, there's this moment earlier where you see these clouds, these beautiful clouds, and like little trails.
Oh man,
and you see that and you go, well, I don't know what that is, but it sure is interesting.
It's interesting.
And then at the end of the movie, of course, they show you that it's like the trails of ICBMs flying through the air to blow up whatever country they're heading towards.
Everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Earth, this crazy image of the Earth just seeing flames going all over it.
And And
Ugh.
it's weird because Nolan is, I think, one of the great masters of the thing that should be stupid but isn't.
Yeah, he's good at that.
It's like, it should be kind of stupid, where he's like, yeah, you know how we said that we were going to blow everything up? We did.
We did. Yeah, he blows up.
That's essentially what the ending is. But it's like he balances it so nicely,
Yeah.
and the build up is so nice, and it doesn't seem like it's a wink or anything. It just seems like it's this revelation that he very early on realized that what he had done, he could not stop.
Yeah, it was like,
there was no stopping it. And what I thought I was doing to save the world may end the world.
Yeah, which that comes up a lot in like the questioning when they're like getting really like intense and he's getting really frustrated, and he's like, I don't like the way we use weapon, like just like against that idea, like
yes,
we're just gonna keep using these weapons, like no matter what. They're not really peacekeeping. They're just like
yes.
It's like really and I love the payoff with the Strauss thing of him thinking that they're talking about him and like. Strauss is, I guess he's like an assistant or something.
Yeah, Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, who's like, at first you're like, who's this guy helping this annoying dude?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, he's like actually someone interested in the truth. And like when he finds out the truth, he like kind of roots against Strauss.
It's really good.
And I love when he turns to him, because Strauss is like, very pathetically just like, I told you what Oppenheimer did. Like just really shows how
turning
pathetic.
the scientific community against me. Robert Downey Jr. is pretty fucking amazing.
Oh, he is awesome in this. They did such a good job.
So good.
And yeah, his assistant guy's like, I'm sure they were talking about something more important. Like, I love that. And it's
really good.
It's great. And then you just see him throw on his like fake smile for the cameras. I was like, oh, what a sleazebag.
Man.
It's so good.
Downey's awesome.
Yeah, he killed it.
Is he, question mark,
ooh,
the best part? Is he the best?
Acting wise?
Is he the best?
He did really good.
He's really good because he has a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Like, we are root in some ways, even though we think that he may bring the death of us all. We are sort of rooting for Oppenheimer because he seems to be doing a thing that he thinks is good.
Yeah.
At some point, he thinks he's doing a thing to save the world from the Nazis.
Yeah.
And also, like, save the world from the genocide that the Nazis are attempting to do, even though who knows if he really knew. But he had some concept of the fact that really bad shit was happening with the Jews in Germany. And so we root for him in some way, even though we kind of think he's bad.
Yeah, it's weird because, there's a turning point where the war, like Hitler dies, and it's like, oh, well, we kind of don't need to do this anymore. And they're like, no, we have to keep doing it. Yeah. It's like, oh, wait, this is questionable.
The generals are like, we better actually do this. Wouldn't it be cool if we did it?
Yeah, and like, there's so many points where they're like, well, couldn't we just like show the Japanese that like, and there's really no good argument to why they didn't just like show like, okay, we can do this. Stop. And they don't. They're just like, no, let's just kill a bunch of people. Yeah. And like the despicable nature of like the way like the government officials would just talk about it. Like the scene where the guy's like, all right, here's a list of places what we could bomb. Not Kyoto. Me and my wife visited. I was like, wow, if this really that's.
I think that might have been made up for the movie, but
maybe I was like,
it doesn't make it any better.
No,
that they didn't say that. But
do you think they made up the Truman part? He's like, get that baby out of here.
I mean, that's in the book.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Now, I don't know if he said it right as he was leaving or something, but apparently he and Truman were definitely at odds almost immediately. And Truman literally did pull out his handkerchief to say, hey, wipe off the blood on your hands, you little fucking weakling.
Yeah, and it was so wild to see the president be like, it's not about you, but he was like kind of making it about himself. Like, I did it. It's like, what the?
I mean, I think it's a good point.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's kind of like, nobody cares about you. They think that I did it. Everyone thinks that I did it.
Yeah, don't worry.
And not even like him being like full of himself. It's just literally like, this is the truth. I run this country, so they think that I did it. So why do you care?
Which is wild.
Yeah. Another powerful thing. The way the editing works to throw everything together. I don't know how they keep up the pace.
Yeah, it is wild.
Because it is truly a long-ass movie.
It's a very, very long movie.
And it doesn't, to me, I didn't feel it dragging.
There was only one point where I felt that, and that'll be my low main.
Hey! Well, that brings us to our low man. We can talk more about the good things.
Yeah, we always do.
What is the low man of this movie, Michael?
So, okay.
Is it when they tested the bomb?
Yeah, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like all of it. Yeah. No, I was fine with that. And I was between even bringing this up. But, it was during one of the black and white scenes.
Yeah.
And which I like that they, there's this funny bit where he has to Robert Downey Jr. keeps having to move this plant to talk to people.
It's good.
I really like that. And then eventually they move the plant and it's in color at that point. And I was like, that's a nice little device.
Yeah.
But it was somewhere in those conversations where I was just not really following what the hell was even happening. Yeah. And I was just getting kind of sleepy. I don't even know what they're talking about right now. I was trying to grasp. And then it sped back up with testing the bomb and stuff.
Yes.
But there was a period where I was like, whew, I'm starting to lose interest here.
Yeah.
And that was a tough part for me.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I will say, even having read the book, and this is the second time I've watched it, it's just a lot.
Yeah, it's
there's a lot of characters doing a lot of shit. They're talking about things out of time. Sometimes they are flashing forward and back.
Yeah.
It is somewhat linear.
Yeah.
In that it is telling Oppenheimer's life, but also it's kind of non-linear because Robert Downey Jr. is also telling his story at the same time, which starts later in the Oppenheimer story. Mm-hmm. So it kind of jumps back and forth in that way.
Yeah, it's really, I can't even imagine editing this.
Seems like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it would have been crazy, and how many drafts of it.
How much time do you spend editing a 3-hour and 7-minute movie?
It must have been no. That would take...
That sounds awful.
Months and months, if not over a year. I can't imagine that. And the footage was giant. What machine were they cutting this on? I can't even imagine.
I have no idea.
The file size must have been psychotic.
I wonder how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, do they cut it in whatever, Avid or, whatever the fuck, and then reprint it onto film?
I guess, unless they just cut it with film. Maybe they do it the old style way.
I have no idea.
That would be wild. That would be great to see. I'd love to see it behind the scenes. How did you cut this?
If you edited this movie, tweet at us at Food Courtcast. We would love to know. We'll have you on the show, not to talk about Oppenheimer. We'll have lunch before. We'll talk about Oppenheimer, and then you can come on and talk about one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, we'll do that. I would love to see the behind the scenes of this movie shot with an IMAX camera.
Yes.
And then we get a behind the scenes of that behind the scenes being shot, and it just keeps going forever.
By the way... If you are any famous person listening to this podcast,
yes,
and that is someone with over 7,000 followers on any social media,
10 is preferred, but
tweet at us and we'll have you on the show. Unless you're really, really, really stupid, or
awful, which is likely because that's how the world seems to work.
Yeah. But there's a worst. You know what? There's a worst part.
Yeah, tell me.
This movie. My low man, that I actually didn't mind that much this time, but the first time I thought it was stupid. So the famous J. Robert Oppenheimer quote is him quoting from the Bhagavad Gita, saying, "I have become death, the destroyer of worlds." Yeah. And the way it is first introduced in this movie is Florence
Pugh.
Jean Tatlock, played by Florence Pugh, and Mr. Oppenheimer are doing the dirty.
Mm-hmm,
they're banging.
Banging
sexually. Not just hitting a hammer against a pan or something. They're actually... Well, that would be clanging, I guess.
Clanging.
And they'd never clang.
They
once.
never clang.
No one clangs.
We all wanted it, but it never happened.
Yeah, it's
Not
like
a single clang.
Yeah, this is some pretty good banging, but what if they clanged? Hey, Chris, if you're listening, can we get some of that clang footage?
More clang.
Clang slanger. I'm the clam slammer.
Clangenheimer.
Clang slang. Yes.
I want some Clangenheimer.
Oppenbanger.
Oppenbanger.
So they are having sex.
Bangenheimen.
Bangenheimen.
That's so dumb.
Bangenheimen.
Bangenheimen.
But she does some coitus interruptus.
Yes, classic.
Dismounts and wanders over to the bookshelf to look at the books. Who knows why? She's kind of a weird lady.
She's wild. She's all over the map.
Yeah. And she sees a bunch of different shit, and she's like, "You're into poetry? What? You're a fucking scientist." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm into crazy shit, man. I'm pretty fucking cool." And she's like, "What is this shit?" And he's like, "Man, that's the fucking Bhagavad Gita. That shit fucking rocks,
Heard
dude.
of it?
I love reading Sanskrit. That's why that part in RRR where he talks in Sanskrit is like my favorite part of RRR.
So cool, dude.
And he's doing like pull-ups. Fucking rules.
You have every right to work without expecting the desired result. Is that it or something?
Hey, if you are SS Rajamouli listening, tweet at us at Food Courtcast. Let us know what the words are.
I don't remember.
And she brings the Bhagavad Gita over to the bed.
Gita.
She reinserts the PP into the PP. And then he reads the words, "I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," which is fucking weird.
Very wild.
It's fucking weird.
I wonder what... I mean, it seemed like they were trying to say something with that, but I don't... It was interesting. I was like, okay.
I don't know what they're trying to say.
Because I imagine that isn't in the book.
That is not in the book. I mean, the fact that he had bunches of sexual relationships with bunches of different people, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool. But they don't specifically mention that he read it while he was having sex.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But
interesting choice.
I mean, I think it's just fucking weird.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I mean, when they just straight up cut to them having sex, I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
It was like wild to see so big. I was like,
Nolan.
whoa. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Good cut. Never expected it.
Yeah. And it's also interesting that they have like this nude conversation together.
Yeah, that was wild.
That is very weird because like they're having this intense conversation about their life together and like whether there will be a life together. And he's kind of like, "Hey, I've got a wife and kids, and I can't be coming out here every time you say you're gonna kill yourself or whatever." And then, back to a good thing.
Ooh.
She drowns herself, or does she?
I know, that was tricky. I was like,
they show black gloves like a giallo,
and they mentioned something about something in her system.
Yes,
I was like, this is.
There also apparently was some question as to whether, because throughout the movie, there's different people saying, "Oh yeah, we might kill you." We might just murder you.
That's kind of crazy the way they hint it. It's like, whoa.
So maybe she got murdered. Who knows?
It's tragic either way.
Yeah.
But I really liked, it could have gone really south. This is kind of similar to what you're saying about the way it ends. Like, could be handled really badly. But I thought they pulled it off when he's being, in the little hearing in the room and he's talking about their relations and like, it like is panning behind someone's head, and then when he gets on the other side, he's just like nude,
really
and
good.
Then they show the lady on top of him like humping him, and his wife's like having to relive it and like makes eye contact with it. That was really interesting. Yeah, I was like, that was pretty compelling. I was like, dang, it's
intense stuff.
I also like when she was doing the hearing part because she didn't get to do too much like big acting in this.
No,
but that part was really nice where she's kind of giving it to them and being like a little wild. I like that. That was good.
She gets very sassy.
Yeah, she was sassy.
I think it's a pretty remarkable movie.
It's great. The way it looks, the way it's shot, everything's great.
Really amazing.
I love the little montage at the end, very Nolan-y, and it's just beautiful and tragic and awesome. Yeah. I loved it.
And I think it's also really smart about the way it tells the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the longest time, he thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Even though it was deep down, he had to know that there would be consequences of these actions. For the longest time, he thinks, we gotta save the world from the Nazis.
Yeah.
And then, man, the Nazis quit too fast.
Yeah.
And he's like, darn it.
Darn.
Well, shoot, I guess,
let's just build it anyway.
Hey, what if we didn't drop it on people? And they're kind of like,
we're gonna drop it on people.
What if we did?
I mean, why not just do it? I don't know, send a ship out into the ocean, and then blow it up in front and be like, look how crazy. Surely that would have been like, oh shit, okay, no, we're good, we're not gonna fight. It's brutal.
Just call somebody from the Japanese embassy.
Yeah.
Take him to New Mexico.
Be like,
just watch it explode.
Yeah.
He'll go, we better stop this war.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I mean, that scene was so great. The choice to have no sound while it's exploding and then have the aftermath sound was so cool. I was like, that's not what I was expecting.
It is very surprising.
Yeah, it was cool.
Because the whole time when it's counting down, you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so loud and intense. You're like, beep, beep, beep. You're like, oh fuck. And then it explodes and it's nothing. And you're kind of like, what's happening now?
Yeah.
And then finally it whooshes past them and it's just like, scoosh.
Oh man, that was crazy.
It's crazy.
Intense. And I really respect them for not just using some, special effects mushroom cloud.
Yes.
It probably it was really cool looking. I like that they used the real flames and stuff. I was like, oh wow,
beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
And also it is cool the way in which it relates back to his first moments of being troubled by the quantum,
it's crazy,
by the ideas of quantum theory.
Oh, wow.
They show wide shots of it being this huge pillar of fire, but also sometimes where it's just you see the rolling flames, the smoke, and he's watching it and he's kind of
really crazy.
Oh yeah, this is all the stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah, all along.
But somehow, as I was trying to think about the building blocks of our world, I ended up making a big thing that exploded. That exploded everything.
It's pretty crazy.
It's too bad.
It is too bad. I mean, it makes sense. It's two things. It's quantum theory, two things being that shouldn't be possible at once, but they are.
Yeah.
I love that scene at first when the one student shows up.
Yes.
And he's like, I love that whole setup. It was so interesting.
This is another dumb thing, but he also does this cool little, I think, wink at Kubrick at the end, where he's talking to Einstein.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's talking to Einstein right at the end, at the very, very ultimate scene where they're revealing what he truly said, and Einstein's essentially like, hey, yeah, well, once they're done tearing you down, they'll make you a nice dinner of salmon and potato salad, and they cut to grizzled, old ass Oppenheimer, and he's he's got a huge
dick. No,
yes, he's got a huge dick. He's got his medal, and everybody comes to shake his hand. And they're they'll pretend that everything's water under the bridge.
Yep, all his old enemies,
and everybody's like, yeah, hey, but he does look a lot like Dave, old Dave in 2001.
I don't
know if that's in. I would assume it's intentional because Nolan. I don't think he does things without intentionality.
Yeah, you never know.
But yeah, it's really awesome.
That was great. I love when Kitty, I forget the scientist's name.
Teller,
who basically betrayed him.
Yeah.
Comes up to shake his of course Oppenheimer shakes his hand. Yeah. And she earlier got mad at him how dare you shake his hand? What is wrong with you? And there's so many times where Whoops!
Sorry.
Almost had a little accident
I did a
there.
spill. I did a slight spill
of a tropical drink.
Okay. Keep talking.
And earlier she got like really mad about him doing that, and so it was like this like nice little parallel when he goes to shake her hand and she's like, "No, absolutely not." I love it
either.
I like the people who are like adamant about the truth the whole time. It was I thought that was
like
it was great.
Ancient Smolder and Scully.
Yeah, like just like them.
Truth is out there.
My runner-up for Lo Mein.
Oh, you got more.
Yeah. I liked the scene overall, and I thought it was like a funny effect. But there's a part, and this is always tough for me with Matt Damon because I love him, but as soon as he comes on, I'm like, oh, that's Matt Damon. And it always takes me out of the movie, which is just tough.
Interesting.
Because he's just so, like, I hate to say it, he was my least favorite part of Interstellar. I thought you ruined that.
Dang.
Movie. Sorry. I thought that whole plot line was bad. I was like, what is this? Why? This is a different movie. Why are we doing this?
Hater.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that movie in general, but
wow.
It's very well shot, but
yep.
Corn.
You hate America. America is built on corn, dude.
America. But there's a part where Matt Damon is like yelling at a guy, and he's like, "This is the most important thing."
Yeah.
And it is almost like dumb. I was like, this is kind of.
It is a lot.
It's like way overacted.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I did laugh, but I was like, all right, Matt,
I'm sorry.
chill out, Matt. So that would be my runner-up.
I don't have anything else bad to say about it.
2 flaws. For me.
Just
in
2
3
flaws.
hours. Yeah,
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not bad.
I liked it a lot. Now, did you like this or Barbie more?
They're so different.
They're so different. But I mean, with the discourse right now,
think
it's just.
I went to see this movie and I went to see Barbie. I've seen both of them. Twice, actually.
Oh, wow.
I went to see Barbie again. And I remarked afterwards that Oppenheimer is just a movie for me.
Yeah, I feel that.
Barbie is
it's fun.
Is a movie that is very, very funny and very fun, and also has like very good observations that are kind of snuck in there.
They do a great job
in a clever way. But it is a movie made by a woman for women.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's just kind of what it is. And this is a movie made by a dude for dudes, man. This is just us dudes.
It is kind of funny.
Dudes love the end of the earth.
The Kens went to see this. The Barbies went to see this.
Exactly. This is a movie for Kens.
Now,
People who just love the end of the earth.
We need a movie for Alan.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Man, you know what's a movie for Alan? Past Lives.
Past Lives. I didn't get to see it.
That's for the ladies,
Dang
that's for the dudes, and that's for the Allens.
F. Oh, man.
Sorry.
I screwed up.
Well,
well, did you watch anything else?
We can't only talk about Oppenheimer.
No.
We also have to talk about the other movies which we watched this week, which brings us to a segment called Panda Express presents Express Yourself about the movies you watched this week. Play that theme.
Ding 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 ding. It's time for the Panda Express. Boop boop, because we got some things expressed. Ding ding about the things we watched. Doot doot this week. Dong dong dong.
I hit my head slightly, but that's okay. You know what I watched this week?
What'd you watch this week?
I watched a little horror movie called Cobweb.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
Which was okay.
Okay.
It ends quite strongly.
Ooh.
There's a lot of stuff before that is fine.
Yeah.
It is overall fine.
I hadn't heard about it, and then I heard people talking about it.
Man,
like, what is this?
No one's heard about it because I haven't seen any trailers for it.
Yeah,
I go to the movies at least once a week, and I haven't seen any trailers for it.
I've never seen a trailer for it. Yeah.
But it's fine. If you're a horror fan and you just want to go see a horror movie, go ahead and
see it. Why not?
I will say it does the thing that now way too many movies do is the Japanese crawling lady.
Oh no. It's back.
It's fast crawling at least, but it is like
crawling.
Yeah, there's lots of crawling.
There was a big peak of that. After The Ring, it was just like And I guess The Grudge was nonstop. Everybody's crawling.
Lots of crawling.
One of my favorite...
Which can be scary.
It can be, but it can also be... I always think the line between horror and comedy is so thin.
Yes.
And man, sometimes... Like, I always think about... There's a scene in The Ring 2 where the little girl's crawling up the well. Yeah. And it just is just so insanely dumb. And then, like, she's closing the well, and the girl goes, "Mommy!" I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I'm not your fucking mommy." I was like, this is insane. Like, we've crossed over here.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
It is very, I'll say, fairy tale-ish.
Ooh,
like
fairy tale-ish.
But it's fine.
Okay.
I think it is like another one of those movies where in 4 weeks I'll forget about it completely.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had a fine time at the movies.
I won't forget about Oppenheimer. I'll tell you that.
No.
I'll tell you that much. If anything, I'll own it on Blu-ray.
You should.
Yeah.
Have you watched anything this week?
I watched a Shark Week documentary that was about the length of a movie.
Tell me more.
It was pretty good. It was about big old sharks, great white sharks.
Well, you know what I watched? I watched another movie. I've watched so many movies this week, but I only talk about a second movie.
Oh.
I watched a movie called The Star Chamber, directed by Peter Hyams.
Whoa.
Starring, Michael Douglas.
Oh, I never heard of it.
And Hal Holbrook.
What?
Among others.
What?
Lots of people.
Wow.
Like, so many people from movies in this movie. But basically, it's like if you combined Death Wish with a courtroom drama.
Okay, all right.
Michael Douglas plays a judge who keeps having to let people off on technicalities. And he's tired of that shit.
Yeah. He's done.
And it goes on from there. And you know what? It's kind of good.
Interesting.
It's kind of good. It's really, really cool.
I never heard of it.
It's like, it's very dark in the way that those 80s movies are dark. In ways that no movies are now. Like, there's two characters who are bad guys, and their crime is abducting little boys, making child pornography, and then torturing them to death.
Yikes.
That's their crime.
Holy crap.
In the movie. And of course they are very evil, bad people.
Sounds awful.
But it's like such a bad thing.
Yeah, that's like so
in a way that like
bad.
that does not exist now.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like in movies now, I mean
in movies
yeah. Now in movies it's just like, hey, you stole a wallet. You're the worst person ever. Oh, he's so bad. Oh, he's a bad guy. He stabbed.
You invented the atom bomb.
Yeah. Boo-hoo. Yeah, but it's good.
Interesting.
Check it. It's somehow kind of gritty, but also kind of a courtroom drama. It's very interesting.
Okay, I'll check it out. The only other thing I've been watching is this anime called Attack on Titan.
Oh my god.
Sorry to bring it up, but I only bring it up because it is so darkly, like it's so fucked up, and it's war, like just war out of the, like the world's basically ending at the point I'm at.
Oh yeah.
So I think you might get into that. It's like messed up.
I like war.
Some shit. You're just like, oh my god, that dude's head just got blown off.
I like when dudes' heads get blown.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I love a good head being blown.
I like a blowing a lot. If you know what I mean.
Leave that to me.
I don't think I watched anything else.
Yeah, I didn't. I think it just happened so fast. Suddenly we had seen Barbie, and then suddenly we were seeing this.
Yeah.
When could I have watched a movie in those 6 days?
When could I have watched a movie in an entire week?
Yeah, there's just no way.
If you are within, let's say, 3 hours of a 70 millimeter IMAX theater, drive that 3 hours to the theater, watch it for 3 hours, and then drive back. Or get a hotel room and sleep.
That's a 9-hour trip. Wow.
You can go to sleep.
Yeah, just not during the movie.
Go to a hotel room. You can go to sleep and then drive back home.
It's
so awesome.
It's great. I heard a lady down from us say she fell asleep, and I don't blame her. I had a close call, but
man,
do your best to stay awake because it's worth it.
If you fall asleep, you'll pretty quickly be woken up
Yeah, true.
by the seats rattling
Oh, yeah.
or something just going goosh.
That was crazy.
Goosh.
It's insane.
It's a crazy
What a
movie.
flick.
What a piece of work.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Michael,
Uh-huh.
it's been a pleasure
Yeah, I can't
speaking
wait
about
to
this film with you.
speak about the next one.
Yeah, what are we watching next?
I don't know. Are they...
Oh, I think Talk to Me is out
Okay,
this
we'll
week,
do that
so
one
We should
then.
watch Talk to Me.
Yeah, we'll do that
Talk
one.
to Me is so good. I talked about it on a previous
It's
episode.
been very divisive online.
Really?
I'm interested to see
Do
how I
some
feel
people not
about
like it?
Oh, there's so many people ragging it. It's interesting.
In what way are they ragging
They're
it?
like, give me the old horror movies. This shit ain't scary. I'm like, okay, dude,
It is
chill
kind
out.
of scary.
It is kind of.
I watched it and I was scared.
How do you compare it to like Smile or other?
It's not as scary as Smile.
Okay, Smile. Okay, Smile was wild.
Smile, I thought, was like one of the great spook shows in a long
It
time.
was really creepy.
It is. I mean, it was one of my favorite movies of last year.
I hope we use this as a clip. Just it's like it's cutting to you. Like you're barely in the frame.
Smile is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful movie.
The little twist is
wow! I
nice.
didn't realize that we're really getting into Magic Hour.
it's beautiful here. We'll figure out something to watch.
Michael, we're watching Talk to Me, whether you like it or not.
We're gonna watch
'Cause
it.
it's a good ass movie.
We'll see. And
We'll see. It might
what
suck.
we want to see is you to rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts,
5 stars on Spotify.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Subscribe to the Instagram.
Like our shorts, you freaks.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for saying 5 stars.
Absolutely.
On behalf of Michael Hampton, I'm Sean Parrott saying, Bon Appetit.